wherever you want to put it. The phone can be on you. Matia. Yeah, life is sometimes like that, you know. You see, I will take it from the telephone. Just to sit. And the rate is okay. I can see. What rate are you doing in terms of how you run? Oh, Ghana. Last week, you move ball. Yeah. Are you say I didn't know? I'm saying, yeah, someone ba. I think there was too much pressure on him. Yeah, and yes, can't you just ask somebody to do it? Because he's the captain and he's carrying everything. Leadership, you know. Yes, and the overcome leadership. I think I'll comment on that. I can see. It depends on when I start to read it, and then that's when I can give you feedback. And that is what I'm doing now. It should be at my neck level. They've done their best. It was simply not going to be. Sometimes you just accept someone. Hey, Abos. Oh, yeah. You are. Oh, wait. It's like this. Unless by the time this is just a 2-page thing. Not too bad. What time officially will you start? So for how many people have?
Hello. Okay, so I think that we have some 2 minutes to do our onboarding. So I'll start with a few announcements so that we prepare to start the program. And please, because it's a Zoom session, what you do is that once you log on, please mute your microphone. And then if you want to talk at any point, please indicate by raising your hand. We'll let you talk. If you have any concerns, you can send it to, you can send the concern to us via chat message. You can do a direct message to the e-learning account. So there's a University e-learning you see in the participant list. You can do that and send it to us. Or you can send it as a chat. We will be monitoring it. And so we will be waiting for some people to join us. Because of the match, I'm sure we'll have some slight delay in starting. But please bear with us.
I think so.
Outside universities, non-students, there are 30 of them.
Oh, sir. Okay. 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 So it's when it's one session. When they are done with this one, they get their certificate.
Yes. This cohort will be. So this weekend, in fact, three weekends.
This particular one.
Yes.
So next weekend you do it. For the three different. Okay. Okay. And what are the rules? The ground rules for a person to be certified? They must.
They should.
You know your people. If you don't.
You should be able to attend all the lectures.
All or none.
Yes, all. Either live or
In.
asynchronous.
Okay.
Which means that when we have uploaded the material,
Okay.
there should be evidence.
So either you do it synchronous or you do it asynchronous. Is that you accept that?
Yes. And the
Okay.
facilitators have also uploaded resources.
Okay.
Assignments and discussions.
Okay.
Just to
Okay.
So
Okay.
we only get a certificate when we receive clearance from the facilitators.
Okay.
And we are saying that if they miss any of the course, we will defer them for the next cohort.
So that they can, all right, take it up and make it. Right. So who is presenting today? Chris. How are you? Jack, win or no win? Jesus is so Lord. Thank you. Thank you. So, maybe part is it. Rama, I'm a person who knew your handkerchief. Over. But obviously, Franco also the certain part. Okay. So your students, you know, when they are saying like that, like you get to say something from Franco. Those are when director of students of don't know your everybody is joining from there. Okay. The place is really taking something they say inauguration. No, he will link up from he's in Moreno. Yeah. The province is out of I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. It's all right. I was so hopeful that they would really be able to push further.
Evening one we will be starting doing some onboarding. And because this is the first,
it happens sometimes.
Constantly remind ourselves about such engagements. This is how the meeting is going to be about. The first meeting is about just a small opening session we will have, and then from the opening session we'll go into our first presentation for the day. But please, when you log in, kindly make sure that you mute yourself. And as I've been saying, if at any point you have a question, a query, a comment to make, please indicate by typing in the chat window. We are recording the session, but this session is open to all because it's the opening session. It's open to all. And so we have it on our YouTube page, going live on our YouTube page, KNUST e-Learning Center. You can see
And to
it.
flight
Then you
mode.
can share the
Mom may
link to
interfere
with
with
friends
Yamoya.
and let them see what is happening in the best university. We are proud of our university, and we know that our university is the best. We don't need anybody telling us. We know and believe that our university is the best in terms of quality teaching, quality delivery. We believe beauty, anything that goes with KNUST is the best.
Sure.
So we know our university. So we do things in proper context. So try your possible best and then mute yourself and don't interject unnecessarily. So that is what we'll do. So we'll be starting very soon. We'll start exactly at 5:20, 2 minutes to start. The Vice Chancellor is in the house. I've seen the SRC President is also online. I've seen the Dean of Students online. We'll be doing the introduction, or we'll be having the introduction very, very soon so that we start. For those who have joined us, we want to welcome you once again to today's session. We know that you would have a very good time with us at the e-learning center. But continue to share the link. I see the number going up. I see now for the Zoom, I see 52 have joined. We are hoping that about 90 to 80% of the registered participants would join the opening session so that it would be a place where you get the needed information going forward. So we have 1 more minute for onboarding, and then check your microphone, check your everything, check your background, because this is recorded. Please check your background and make sure that your background is fine, and then we can proceed from there. So we'll just wait for the next 2 to 5 minutes and then we continue. Thank you.
Call the director for me. Director, how many ladies hooked on? Registered? Did you do that statistic? You have, it's important. I'm interested in that as well. First presenter will be today. Okay. I pity him. Everybody's mind will be somewhere else. It's like doing a lecture after lunch. Doing a lecture after lunch, or just before mid-term break or whatever it is. Nobody will listen. They're already at home.
Oh, but people are rejoining. I was thinking that the defeat will make you, but once you go, I did not go. It's okay.
You see? Okay. So the loss of your enemy is victory for you. They outline the program. Okay.
Then we do some general how relevant is the course of leadership development.
I mean, I'm just here. I drove like mad. If we don't get him, what is the use? You need to also keep to your time. When you tell them you're starting at this time, everybody is conscious that you're Hi, Ngozi. How are you? You? Not too bad, thank you. Win or no win, we are all right. Life still continues. You know, whether we are coming home or not, life will go on. We are on. It would have been lovely to stay on, but it happens. It happens. Vice President Frank, Brother Chairman. What is saying? We know when life goes on. What? everywhere. Leadership is for everybody. See, within, without, we will encourage the students to come on board. But of course, the youth of this country is not just in KNUST. Yeah, it goes beyond the boundaries of KNUST. So once the focus is the next generation of
Okay, welcome back
then we must
to the
open it
house.
up.
We want
must
to start
encourage them.
today's meeting, and like we do in KNUST, we'll begin with an opening prayer from the SRC General Secretary. So we'll take that one, the opening prayer from the SRC General Secretary. If it's not online at the moment, the Electoral Commissioner for the SRC can give us the opening prayer, and then we will continue.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, we can hear you.
All right, so please let's pray for the commencement of this session. Our dear Father, we thank you, Lord, for this evening. We thank you for bringing us all together. Lord, as we are coming to start this program, we call you to lead us. Be with us. Come and chair this session for us, and let everything we do be successful. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much for this prayer. We want to continue, but just a few housekeeping and then we continue. Please remember that you always mute your mic when you are not talking. I think that we have the Focus FM people also around. They are also transmitting the opening session, and we duly acknowledge them. I've seen some media houses too around. I've seen Love FM around. I've seen other people around. So we would start very soon and continue. That's it. So the next item on the list after this housekeeping is that we will take a brief message from the SRC president. I know you know the SRC president because we have other institutions registering with us. Not all of us are KNUST students, so we have about 30 or so of us who are not KNUST students. For that reason, we would have to introduce our SRC president to all of you. We have our SRC president in our midst, and he would give his brief remarks, and he's called Frank Owusu. Frank, over to you. So brief remarks, and then we proceed. Thank you.
Go and check whether I locked the car.
Hello, Mr. Owusu. Okay. If it's not available at the moment, okay. Hello, he's online now. So.
Hello.
Hello, please, we can hear you, so you can talk. Okay, so in order not to waste time, because of the Black Stars match, we have delayed in starting. And because of that, we'll proceed to the next one. Once we get the SRC president online, we will take his feedback after Prof. Eric Asante, the director of e-learning, gives his remarks. So, Director Prof. Asante, please your brief remarks before we continue.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ado, Registrar for the KNUST e-learning center.
Please, Prof, you are muted.
Thank you very much. I hope I'm live now.
Yes, please, you are live. We can hear you.
Greetings to all participants, and thanks so much, Registrar for KNUST e-learning center. Our dear Vice Chancellor, who is here with us, our Pro Vice Chancellor, who is online with us as well, and the Dean of Students, Professor Jari, SRC President, and all of us good participants who have taken advantage of this very rare opportunity. We want to, on this note, welcome you to this very special online, fully online leadership development and coaching course. I call it a very rare opportunity because if you surf through the programs that various universities run in the country, you would see that this is the first of its kind. And we want to thank so much the vision of our dear Vice Chancellor, Professor Rita Kosua-Dixon, who has it as a major branch of her vision to raise leaders and also to ensure that we make good use of the digitalized environment to appropriate whatever agenda that we have, not just as a university, but also as products of our university who would have to make impact in our society. I want to, on behalf of the e-learning center, welcome all participants. Our checks have revealed just a few minutes before we entered into the studios that we have getting to 300 students, 300 participants already registered for this very promising course. It tells how this is really going to help, how promising this is, and how eager people are. We are even at the point of thinking of blocking registration to make room for the next cohort. And I think that you taking the decision to really register early and then being part of this first cohort, for me, is a brilliant and a timely decision. I believe that the systems that KNUST have in place by the able leadership of our dear Vice Chancellor, the studios and the online infrastructure that KNUST, being a premier science and technology university, has in place, is undoubtedly going to help us to be able to achieve our goals of becoming leaders of the class through this online leadership development coaching course. We want to assure you that all the infrastructure that the KNUST e-learning center has is going to be deployed effectively to support you, both facilitators and participants, to have a very smooth engagement online. We know that there are certainly a few drop-ups that might show up from your end, but we want to encourage you to take advantage of the arrangement for backups that we have done. And that is to say that we are going to look at both synchronous live sections like this and asynchronous sections. So if you drop off, don't worry. The system units are already capturing every proceeding, including this opening one. And you have the opportunity to go back, play and replay, and ensure that you have the content that you should have. The KNUST virtual classroom have also been set up to aid you to be able to access all the course materials and the course content and the lecturers' discussion forums that they have created. If you have your credentials and you log in, you would notice that already the course that you'll be taking today is populated with slides, and today's lecture will be recorded, so the video of same will be available for you. The course materials have also been populated. You have the opportunity to engage with the other close to 300 participants who are online. So you have every reason to be successful in these 3 weeks of learning to be leaders. And we believe that with this very unique opportunity created by the management of the university, you would excel. Thanks to the SRC for this collaboration, and thanks to the Dean of Students also for also opening up for us to collaborate on this. We believe that this being our VC's vision, we would all release our apparatus to support and help grow Ghana, grow the world leadership to the level that is enviable. I want to once again thank you very much for joining this class. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Eric Asante, for such a wonderful welcome. In fact, this course that you are undertaking, or that you are taking part of, is done in collaboration with Center for Capacity Building and Innovation. that is CCBI, Office of the Vice Chancellor, KNUST. A little bit of introduction. For all our short courses of the university, it is run through the Center for Capacity Building and Innovation. And for this all-important meeting, we have its coordinator, Dr. Ya Sapong, online. And so Ya Sapong will tell us something brief about the office and what courses they offer and how their function, their mandate in the next 2 minutes before we continue. So, Dr. Ya Sapong, over to you.
Yes, thank you very much, Chris. And I say a warm welcome to my boss and Vice Chancellor,
Thank you,
Professor Rita Dixon, for making sure that this leadership program is available for our students to empower them to become better leaders of the student population. I'm very grateful to be here this evening, and to introduce you to the Center for Capacity Building and Innovation, which operates from the Office of the Vice Chancellor. So as a brief introduction, CCBI is a center that is responsible for undertaking all forms of short courses under the university, and also to make sure that short courses are conducted with our partners. And as a journey that you are about to embark, I will say that it is, in fact, the most important journey to embark as far as you are a student of KNUST. The university, in its wisdom, have couched or have programmed the short course in such a way that everybody's view is taken on board, as you can see from the picture above. So the short course journey is going to be participatory, with everybody's view taken on board and all views addressed. And there is a Ghanaian adage which often says that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with often, what do you say to that? A step. But with the short courses and the journey that we undertake at the short course unit, popularly or now called the Center for Capacity Building and Innovation, we say a journey of 1,000 miles begins, but with the first right step. Because if you want to go to Accra, and your first step is towards Swami, you end up arriving in Tamale without really getting to Accra and adding to your woes. And if you want to get to London or you want to get to New York, you have to sit down, plan, know the modalities involved, whether you go by plane or by ship or by vessel or by whichever, and you have to know your budget, and a lot of planning goes into it. So whether you are a woman who is asking whether the facilitators are women or men and why they are not a female or male, your issues will be addressed. Whether you've done a short course before and you find the experience to be a much bonding one, we will also appreciate your concerns. Whether you have a late attention to detail and you want us to take our time to facilitate and to take you through the short course, we'll take our time and wait for you to catch up. So it is going to be a participatory manner. So we have the popular quote by Lao Tzu, which says that to be able to participate with someone or to involve someone in a participatory manner, you have to go to the people start with what they have, work with, build on what they know. And in the end, when the work is done, the people will rejoice and will say that they have done the work themselves. And in that case, you become much happier as a facilitator and as a coordinator of short courses. Please, let's move on. My Vice Chancellor's vision for KNUST, since she assumed office, is to position KNUST as a competitive global research-intensive institution for advancement in science and technology, for industrial and social uptake towards sustainable national and global development. And this short course in leadership and development, as far as coaching is concerned, to make sure that students become abreast with the vision of the Vice Chancellor is in order. As for the vision of KNUST and mission, as leaders for change at KNUST, you are abreast with them. The vision is to build KNUST's leadership as the premier science and technology university in Ghana, and to be among the top 10 universities in Africa, which we've already achieved. And the mission is to advance knowledge in science and technology through creating an environment for undertaking relevant research, quality teaching, entrepreneurship training, and community engagement to improve the quality of life for all of us as Ghanaians and for the sub-region and the world. At CCBI, we also have our mission carved out of the university's bigger mission and the mission and vision of the Vice Chancellor. The vision of the Center for Capacity Building and Innovation is to become a world-class center providing flexible, continuing, and lifelong education and training whilst undertaking relevant contract research. We have a number of contract research we are undertaking now. The mission is to provide quality, demand-driven, continuing, and lifelong education programs and research for the people of Ghana and other nations. And as goal, we are there, or we exist by virtue of the Vice Chancellor's mandate given to us to introduce and manage short course programs, to establish demand-driven executive non-traditional education or customized programs across sectors and economy, Ghanaian economy or economic fields that will progress into formal education. And the third is to bring the center closer to industry by introducing tailor-made short courses and programs. And all these will be done in a smart manner, that it should be sustainable, it should be realistic, it should be time-bound, and so on and so forth. Let's move on. Am I still connected? Okay, let's move on. Let's move faster. So let's go to the next slide, please. The time is going faster. So as capacity, in terms of activities of CCBI, go back. Go back. Go to the next slide.
Okay, is it okay?
Good. Okay, good. So I will just mention a few of the activities of CCBI. At CCBI, we undertake a lot of contract research and project appraisal. Currently, we are appraising the project for the Ghana jute mills. As you know, there was a jute factory producing jute sacks for cocoa board and other industries. And this factory folded up. So the company that bought the factory consulted us to appraise the project and find out how best we can bring the factory back online to produce jute sacks and sell to the cocoa board. So we are undertaking that project now, and it's our most current project that we are undertaking. We have international and national reputation across board. We have signed a number of MOUs with international universities. We have fund managers also for NUFIC as far as their short courses that they conduct in Ghana is concerned, and that mandate has been renewed. So in April, we are running about 3 courses that are funded by NUFIC, that is the Dutch government, to train people in rural entrepreneurship, market access, and other courses, including the adaptive management and leadership. Let's go to the next one. Our clientele are many. There are many now. We have the central government, we have multilateral and bilateral agencies, we have USAID and the rest. So these are the MOUs that we've signed. The one that is currently ongoing and it will be finalized soon will be the MOU with the Technical University of Vienna, that is in Austria. These are the short courses we've run since we started operating this year. This year, we've run some short courses in waste management, some in rural entrepreneurship, driving innovations in agri-food value chains. We have the greenhouse vegetable production, handmade artisanal chocolates. We have the international food security and leadership training. So many. And for the first time, we conducted short course in sign language in collaboration with the e-learning center. And we have a short course in monitoring, evaluation, accountability, and learning, where we've trained over 820 participants in this to feed into the economy. We recently had a short course, that is the fourth one, on good clinical practice, where doctors, pharmacists, and staff of the FDA attend this course. We also have the paperless survey techniques using SLS form and Kobo toolbox for researchers who want to use tablets and Kobo Collect to conduct their research. There are other courses, so many courses we've deployed this year. And some of the activities, as I mentioned earlier, is to conduct data quality assessment for USAID and the rest. This is the certification path that we currently operate. The short courses that we conduct, some of them are just certificate of participation. Others too that we collaborate with Wagner University, Ramapo College, University of Rhode Island, have some credit points they give. The good clinical practice has 15 CPD points, and the CPD points are points that some of the doctors and pharmacists need to renew their licenses with their various certified bodies. And there are going to be 5 courses that will be running soon, and we will update you on them when they come online with Technical University of Vienna. And when you finish the 5 programs, you can do something like a thesis or a research work, and it will culminate or give you masters once you have the first degree. And these are the levels of certification that we are currently operating. And in the end, you get a professional certificate. And as part of our work too, we are into plastic waste management. We are now looking at ways of getting some kind of machines for testing the strength of the pellets that we produce at the plastic waste. And these plastic waste menace are so much. These are pictures I took myself within the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly. This is the river on the Ofinsu Road. And we collect plastics from all these areas, including those on campus, and we pelletize them and turn them into some useful products. Yeah, go for it. These are the ones, with my registrar, my vice chancellor, and my chairman for the committee, Prof. Awuja. And these are some of the short course participants for this academic year that we are in. And this academic year, we've run almost 135 short courses, and we are still running some. Just today, there has been closing of 2 courses. Next week, we are opening 3 more courses. So if you want to contact me or you want to come to my office is located in the Kisley 4 building, popularly known as the Destiny Hall. You come to the IDEA main office and you ask of the Center for Capacity Building Innovation. They'll show you. And any form of capacity building you need, we will get you on board and you can build on your knowledge and you'll be retooled to fit into the challenging world we have or we find ourselves. And in conclusion, we say, Nyansapo, Osane no Bajemma. That is our motto. If you can't or don't understand the key, the English meaning is that a tie of wisdom can be untied by the wise. Thank you and welcome to the course. And God bless you for attending this all-important short course program. Stay with us.
Thank you very much. There's a reason why we allow the short courses coordinator to keep updating us on the various short courses the university runs. As you are all aware, we have last year, the national service people that were deployed were 89,000. This year, the number that has been deployed is around 109,000 and beyond. That excludes the nurses, the teachers. And all these people are supposed to find job after their service. And you see next year, per the government's budget reading, there is not going to be freeze on employment in the public sector. And so once you are in the university, you take advantage of such courses to build your other skills so that you can be self-employed, you can develop yourself to face the reality that lies ahead. Thank you very much, Dr. Amosapo. And I'm sure not a lot of you were aware of those courses that are being run on campus. Take advantage of them and it will go well with you. We would listen to the SRC president. He's now in one of our studios and I can see him online. So we'll just take a brief remarks from him and then we proceed. Mr. Frank Osu, please, you have the floor.
Hello, sir. Good evening. Hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Yes, a very good evening to all of you. As you rightly said, my name is Frank Osu, and I am the SRC president of Kenya University. I mean, today ordinarily should have been a double win for me, in the sense that today is a day that all Ghanaians were looking for revenge. But unfortunately, I mean, life has it that you don't always get what you want. But then today is also a birthday of an initiative that I believe to go a long way to help most of us who are joining. The inspiration for me to be part of this whole dream is something that emanated from a story I heard some years ago. And I'll share with you the story quickly, and then we'll zoom into other sessions of the program. I mean, 2 years ago, I told a story about a monkey. This monkey was a young monkey who naturally was very compassionate towards anything nature. So one day there was a storm that preceded the rain. And then where the monkeys resided, there was a tree beside a big river. And that was where the monkeys resided. So now when the storm was about to lead to the rain, they all climbed to the top of the tree, and then they were gazing down, looking at whatever thing that was going on down there. So when it started to rain, the rain was so huge to the extent that you could literally see that the fishes inside the river were rushing in and out. So when the monkey up there saw how the fishes were rushing in and out, it thought that the fishes were struggling. So quickly, this young monkey told the mother monkey that, "Mommy, you see the fishes down there, they are dying. Let's go down there and help them." But the mother said, "No, they are not struggling. That is their nature, that is their habitat, that is their abode." But he didn't agree. So therefore, this young monkey decided to ignore whatever the mother was saying, and then it descended down to where the river was. And one by one, it decided to pick the fishes that were inside the river to put them on bare land. Immediately, the fishes were placed on bare land. They struggled for about some seconds, and then they all became silent. Then the young monkey said, "Mom, you see, I've saved them. They were tired, now they are resting. When they finish resting and the rain is done, they will go back, and when they are going, they will give us thanks." The mother was shaking its head. So 30 minutes after, when the rain stopped raining, the monkey was thinking that the fishes will go back into the river. But the fishes were still lying there. 1 hour, they were still lying. 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and it continued. It wasn't long until the monkey realized that, yes, indeed, the fishes were dead. The point I'm trying to strive here is that as young people who aspire to lead, we all have our various motives for leading. And naturally, we are very much enthusiastic about leading. We are passionate to lead. We have this zeal to perform whenever given the opportunity. But sometimes the solutions we provide to problems are monkey solutions, because the passion is not backed with the relevant knowledge that will help us to bring the relevant solution that we need to present to the problems that we face on a daily basis. So the passion alone is not enough. Determination alone is not enough. Zeal alone is not enough. That is why Kenya University SRC, we are partnering with the Center for Capacity Building and the Kenya University Learning Center to bring to you this program that we call Learn to Lead. And I'm encouraging all students who have joined online at the moment, and even our friends who haven't joined, that let's encourage them to join so that we will be taught the requirements of leadership, so that to get to a point in time, we wouldn't have only leaders who have only passion to lead, but we have leaders who have the requisite knowledge, the skills and the expertise to lead in order not for us to have monkey solutions to the problems that we are facing. He was a great professor in GIMPA, Professor Stephen Adair, who said that leadership is the cause and all other things are effects. I believe that as young people who have been found on this webinar, we have the passion to lead, and I would like us to be serious. Let's take this particular course seriously. We have a well-designed package for us. Let's take it seriously, and I believe strongly that at the end of the day, we wouldn't regret for joining this brilliant idea or this brilliant initiative. I want to thank all those who helped us to make this dream a reality. And I'm very much confident that this wouldn't be a 9-day wonder. It is something that will grow and become as big as the well-known John F. Kennedy School of Leadership and Governance in Harvard. I believe in humble beginnings. And I know that a time will come whereby the KUST SRC School of Leadership will be one that people will come from far and near. People in the corporate world, people in business, people in science, people who have even left school will register and come here to be taught how to lead. On this note, I want to thank all of you for joining. And I say this is KNUST, and here is Hallowed Ground. God bless you for your time and enjoy your stay.
God bless you, Mr. Frank Owusu. And so we will just proceed because of time and because of the World Cup. We'll just be moving a bit faster. The next session is just some few interaction we will have. And I just want to introduce to you some two distinguished personalities online at the moment. And I'm just going to interact with them about the leadership course and its relevance. So I'll introduce this to the people to you because of time. I'll not read their CV. You know them already. The first I would introduce is Professor Wilson Ejare. He is the father of all students on campus. So once you're a student on KNUST campus, automatically he's your father. He takes charge over you. So Prof, let me see if you can enable his camera for us to see Prof. And then the interaction will be between myself, the Prof. Ejare, the Dean of Students, and one of the most important, or I'll say the most important personality on our campus as KNUST. She is our mother and she is our friend. She's our everything. And when she heard of this course, she said she will be there herself. And true to her word, she is here. And that is no other person than Professor Mrs. Rita Akosia-Dixon. She's also in the studio. So I'll just let my technical team get them ready. Even as I ask these two questions, their thoughts on these two questions, that how relevant is the leadership course to the development, or how relevant is this whole course of leadership development to student leaders and leadership in all? So I'll pick the thoughts from the Vice Chancellor, and then I'll pick from Professor Ejare, and then I'll come back again to the Director of E-Learning. It's just a quick interaction that we are having. So I'll pick from Professor Ejare, then I'll come to the mother of the school and pick her thoughts. Prof.
Good evening, and thank you for having me. Let me also recognize the presence of our Vice Chancellor. Good evening, Madam Vice Chancellor, Professor Rita Akosia-Dixon. Let me recognize the good work being done by the Director of the E-Learning Center and my SRC President. A very good story as we now move from monkey solutions to human solutions, because most of what we go through at times, people have already been able to achieve and gone through them. And I think this package is a wonderful one, which will go a long way to make the work of my office far easier, because in most times you have students picking leadership positions and they are not very abreast with what they are doing. And therefore, throughout the year, student leadership is a year affair. You take a long time in shaping them up to be able to lead their own. And looking at the package, what is prepared for us to go through is going to enhance the way they communicate. You say in communication, there are times even you don't have to communicate, which sends a lot of message. There are different communication styles. There are different leadership styles. For instance, somebody could be autocratic or through the dictatorship methods. But I think through this exercise, you will learn other ways of being able to lead on your own. For me, I've always told my student leaders that as a student leader, it's more of being there to serve your own. And it takes them a lot of time for them to appreciate that it's not a time for you to lord over others, but to serve others. I could also see that there's something on integrity and credibility, which is very important. It's something you are building yourself for the future. It's not only on KNUST campus, but you are building and preparing yourself to lead in the future. And with this package, it will prepare you to be able to lead your own colleagues and then also in the future. And what is interesting is that most often what we take our student leaders through is we are only able to reach a few. But with this package, it means the greater masses of students who are not able to be elected or appointed could also still benefit and go out there and serve, which is very unique for us. And also, it also means that students could go through these courses before picking up a leadership position. And therefore, they are well prepared, have a good thought over things. They are built in, their ethics will be sharpened up. And I believe it's a plus for all of us as a university. And that's why KNUST is always the best. Thank you for having me. And I believe my students will learn how to lead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our Dean of Students, the father of students on the best university. In fact, me, I'm proud of my university. If you are not, I am, because this is where we are, this is where we belong. And everybody knows that KNUST is the best university, not in words, but in deeds and in actions. And so, Madam Vice Chancellor, I just want to get your thoughts on the relevance of all these leadership things and in your personal experience in terms of leadership, all those. Is it important to learn to lead?
Absolutely, absolutely. And let me also, before I say anything else, greet my Pro-Vice Chancellor, who is hopefully hooked on from Cape Coast, and also the registrar. I also greet the Director of Student Affairs, Director E-Learning Center, SRC President, registrar, everybody who is contributing to making today a reality. I want to greet all of you, our participants. Indeed, without you, we can't have the program. So we owe it to you to say thank you. First of all, for the courage and also the resourcefulness that you have applied to even this program, to want to be part of it. I believe that you know how important this program is. That is why you have invested a number of resources to be part of. And I want to tell you that you have taken one of the smartest decisions. Now, let me be quick to say that the wealth of every society is the human resource of that society. How do I mean? If you want to see that human beings are progressing, you are seeing growth, and I mean intentional growth, success, you can calculate that based on the capacity that you are building in the human resource or the human resource that are in charge and running the affairs of that society. And with that registered, I would like to add that I have always been a believer of the fact that, well, you could decide to disagree with me, but I believe in that school of thought that everything rises and falls on leadership. If we can get it right, we must get leadership right. And that is why, as Vice Chancellor of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, working with my leadership, we are very keen and very much interested in how to build the capacity of the future leaders of this country. One thing that keeps us awake at night as a university is that to be on our mandate, we want to ensure that consistently we are training and raising transformational leaders. Leaders who will affect society by the kind of leadership that they provide to humanity. Not just for the university, not just for our dear country, Ghana, not just for the continent of Africa, but also for the globe. And I wouldn't be wrong. Everywhere on this globe, you will find a technocrat. So as our mandate, we don't even just focus on our country, Ghana. We go beyond that. So the question that you asked, Chris, what I think about this program, I think that this leadership development program and coaching session is an excellent opportunity for our young people, for our students, young people in the country, wherever you are, to take advantage of this and add value to yourself. And I can, if I have the time, just tell you a few things and some experiences that personally I gained and the exposures that I had going through leadership development programs just like you're doing today. To be quite honest with you, you have a university that is doing this and you have joined, or you are in your country. Some of us had to go or get that kind of exposure in the hard way. Go on the internet, surfing here and there, trying to find where some of these things are going on and be part of. And I recall very well that there's one leadership development program that I will never forget, and it has impacted my life to date. And it was organized by the Malaria Capacity Development Consortium, and I was just fortunate. I was not part of the whole program when it started. Just going online and whatever it is and being part of a career development group in the College of Health Science, I just chanced on it. I hooked on with all my heart, and I kid you not, it has impacted my life in so many ways. At that time, I never thought that I was going to be, first of all, a head of department. So it was not as if, okay, I have some positions available, so let me get some leadership training so that I jump onto those positions. No. Listen to me and listen to me good. And this is your mother and your friend saying this, so believe me. You take every opportunity that you have to add value to yourself at any given time. You have to aim at preparing yourself for the tomorrows. Please. Because you never know what life will throw at you. But you see, when that clarion call comes, you must be ready to fit in or qualify to take up that responsibility. So let me assure you that what you're doing or starting to do with this leadership development program and coaching, you may not even see the relevance too much now, but I can assure you, in the future that is ahead of you, you would realize what an intelligent decision you took to be part of this program. I don't want to talk too much, but just to say that you have taken the right decision. Please follow through to the end and make sure that you hold in high esteem all the courses that you'll be taught. And I was asking the director, so in the event where a participant happens to, as it were, miss one, how does he or she come back and get it? The good news, he told me, is that it's both synchronous and asynchronous. So meaning if you miss the live one, you could go behind the curtain and do it at your own convenience. In concluding, I just want to say that please, please, this world needs visionary leaders. Leaders who are prepared to serve. Leaders who are selfless and willing to go the extra mile for humanity. And you cannot assume that you know it all. No. And when I'm given the opportunity again, I'll touch on mentorship because you need to continue, as I said, to add value to yourself. So indeed, this is an excellent program, and I want to salute all of you who are making this possible. On behalf of management, I say thank you. And once again, I remain your mom and your friend. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, our mom and our friend. Add value to yourself at any given time. Thank you very, very much. And so with this, I'll invite Prof again to declare this short course officially open, and then we can proceed. So Prof, with your kind permission, if you can open the course, declare it open for us, and then we proceed.
All right. Thank you very much. You know the usual practice. I've been given a speech, so I will try and then comply. The director has asked me to ensure that I say everything that we have put together. So I think I'll try and be a good student in that regard. So let me start by saying that I'm recognizing the presence of the Pro-Vice Chancellor, the Registrar, the Director of Student Affairs, of course, the Director of the KNUST E-Learning Center, course facilitators, colleague lecturers, my dear students that I love so much, other participants who are joining us from wherever they are, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, it is very, very true that the fortunes of every people, organization, household, any institution depend on those who are in the helm of affairs. Indeed, we will only get a better world if we have better leaders. I cannot emphasize that enough. Most certainly, we are all leaders in our own right. And I always say that once you're created in the image of God, what it means is that you have been given dominion, as the good book says, to take care of the world. So by virtue of the fact that you are a human being, you became a leader. Of course, our daily activities demand that we make decisions and find solutions to problems. Whether we accept it or not, everything, as I've already said, will continue to rise and fall on leadership. And the earlier we paid attention to how we can build our leadership acumen, the better it will be for all of us. Our national and global success, both now and in the future, obviously is hinged on the type of leadership that we have. And therefore, it is imperative that we continue to work on this. That is why I am personally excited about this leadership development program, which the e-learning team of KNUST is bringing to your doorstep. Congratulations, all participants in taking time off to invest in this golden opportunity to build on your leadership skills. This is truly a smart move. You know, I've told you that already. So well done. Well done. I am so, so proud of you. There is so much that has been said and written about leadership. As for the leadership books, I'm sure it can break the shelves. So many. What it is not. I tend to align with a school of thought that accepts leadership as influence. And that is true. Basically, people do what people see. If you want me to follow you, it means that you are doing the right thing. Otherwise, I wouldn't follow you. Leadership is also relationship. I also buy into that. There are many, many, many definitions of leadership. I go for that definition as well. And these days, we say that, in fact, leadership is now becoming leader-shift. It has moved on, you know, from all sorts of things to where you get to know the people that you are working with. You care about the people that you are working with. You respect the people that you are working with. Because you know what? Nobody is interested in all that you know unless they know that you care. That is something that I would want you to take note of. One of the very simple questions that I will engage you to always ask yourself, and I ask all leaders to ask themselves that very simple question, is that if you were not you and you met you, would you want to follow you? Ask yourself that. If you were not you and then you met you, what are the chances that you would want to follow you? If the answer to that question is yes, congratulations. What it means is that this course is going to help you to even add on. If the answer is no, and for most of us, including me, more often than not, it would be no, then this is a great chance for you. How are you able to put in what that you would want to see in you so that you would like to follow you? I hope I'm not confusing you with too many yous. Before I go on, let me just say that I would like to lay emphasis on a few points, and I would like you to really keep them in mind. Sometimes we say that, oh, leaders are not born, and you know that debate. We have been debating and debating. Of course, every leader is born. Otherwise, then you are not a human being. You have to be born. But the point is that even when you think that you have been gifted, talented with all those gifts, what stops you from adding more to the skills that you have? Leadership can always be developed, not necessarily discovered. You can always add on to your leadership skills. And I can always say that the difference between leaders and followers is that leaders keep improving and working and adding on to their skills every step of the way. You cannot have enough of training in terms of skills development when it comes to leadership. Every day you learn. Even this match that we lost, it's a leadership lesson, and I hope we've all picked it up. Yes, in those difficult times, the coach must lead. The captain must lead. The leader must come up strong and be able to keep the spirit of the members up. Every given time in our life, we are picking leadership lessons. So please, don't pull your duvet or your cloth over you and say, as for me, I'm a born leader. You will be missing a lot. I've told you this already, that please keep preparing yourself at any given time, because you never know what life will throw at you. Indeed, I am reliably informed that this course is going to be very, very interactive. The director is here. and they have put it all together: leadership, communication, ethics in leadership, core skills of a great team leader, and so on and so forth. Ethics. And these people who are going to lead in these discussions have gone through the mills. They know what they're talking about, and we're grateful to them that they can share a piece of their life experiences with us. But as you get yourself ready to start this, I want to make some appeals to you. And I would want to plead with you and let you understand that the first person that is on this earth, planet Earth, that you would want to lead, I plead with you, must be yourself. That is the first victory you must win. Victory over yourself. Self-leadership, self-discipline. Indeed, I do not have any business wanting to lead anybody if I cannot, as a matter of fact, lead myself. And that is where the issue is. Looking within me and saying that, Akosia, this thing is wrong, and you better get it out. It's difficult, but that is where the victory also would come. And when I lead myself as a leader, then it becomes very easy for other people to buy into you as a leader and go along the flow with you. So please, work on that. Work on that. I would also want to talk about attitude quotient. You see, more often than not, we dwell on intelligent quotient, IQ, and so on and so forth. Look, your intelligence will take you there. Your competencies will take you there. All sorts of things will take you there. Your attitude will bring you back if that is not checked. So I plead with you, watch and mind your attitude quotient. I would like to say that leadership is about taking responsibility and not giving excuses. Oh, I am only human. No, we know. And you will continue to be human, but you are the leader. And we expect responsibility from you. So please, take note of that. I said I was going to touch on mentorship. Please, you cannot do this all by yourself. Look up to people, and you can decide to have as many mentors as you practically can. I have so many mentors, so many. Each one contributing from that angle of his or her life towards my leadership journey. And I would like to really thank them very much for the role that they've played in my life. Indeed, if all the sources of the ideas that you have are coming from just you, you are in big trouble. Because nobody holds monopoly to wisdom. Speak to other people, other leaders, and hear them. The other way to hear other people talk to you is to read about them. Read memoirs, read autographies, read biographies. You may not get the opportunity to meet certain leaders, but at least your ability to pick a book about them and read. You may not, anyway, some of them are even dead. I have not met Nelson Mandela before, but just reading his memoir, I know how he handled human beings. Interestingly, all these leaders had to deal with human beings. So you find how they managed it, the challenges they went through, and that teaches you a lot, and you are able to also progress on your leadership journey. I was asking the director earlier on how many ladies signed up for this leadership program. I didn't get that data, but I hope that I have some leaders who are, on this program who are also ladies. And for my ladies, I have something little for you. I want to say that, please, a leader can be both compassionate and strong. A leader can embody both grace and grit. Humility is not synonymous to timidity. Please. So don't just say that, oh, if I'm a leader, then they will say this. Nobody will say anything. Thankfully, people are beginning to understand. So please, train yourself. And one of the last things that I would also want to touch on is teamwork. That as a leader, as you train yourself to become a leader, always remember that teamwork will always make the dream work. Please don't be afraid to make mistakes or fail. Look, as I sit here, sometimes you take some decisions, you reflect, and you realize that, no, it didn't go well. And that is why, as a leader, you must always be prepared to listen. Because I have told you earlier that you do not hold monopoly to wisdom. Yes, other people will see it, and when they give you the feedback, sit quietly and listen and thank them, and then decide to do what you want to do with that information. Don't just, even before they land, you have told them that that contribution will not be necessary. That is not a sign of a good leadership. I believe that with the Almighty God by your side, you will always remain a conqueror. And as I end, I'd like to thank the e-learning center, the CCBC, Energy. He says he's Dr. Sapon. I will always refer to him as Energy because he's got a lot of energy in him.
I'm here.
SRC president.
Thank you.
Yes, all the leadership, the director of students affairs, my management team, for all that has been put in to ensure that this leadership development program begins and sees the light of day. I would like to also thank our resource persons for accepting to share a bit of their life experiences with these young ones. There can be no greater service than this. As I conclude, let me say that my dear students, my dear participants, who also double up as leaders of today and most certainly of tomorrow, I'd like to congratulate you once again for choosing to improve yourself to serve humanity and not yourself. Anytime you choose to be a leader, you have chosen to sacrifice and serve humanity, and that goes with blessings. May the Almighty God crown all your efforts with great success. And with that said, I have the singular honor to declare the Leadership Development Program and Coaching session or course duly launched. I thank you all very much for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Vice Chancellor. Thank you very much. We are grateful for your presence and your kind words to all of us. In fact, let me just also acknowledge that I've seen some few the pictures. I think that they have also registered, and it's a good sign. I can see some from accounts department. I see somebody from. We are grateful you also joined us. I've seen some of the administrators, a few of them joining us, registering and joining us. So it's not just students alone. So please, we acknowledge your presence. We'll take a group picture. If it was face to face, we would have taken group picture. And so we will take group picture online. There's a way we do it. And before we take the group picture, there's Focus FM 2 online, who is helping us. But they are in one of the studios transmitting live the session for everybody to say. So Focus FM, we want to say thank you for carrying the opening session live for us. We appreciate it so much. We'll take the group picture and then we'll introduce our speaker for today and start the session. And so please just enable your camera. But before you do, be sure your background, everything is okay before you enable your camera. And then they will take a snapshot. The IT team would help us capture the people who are there. If you feel you are not properly dressed, please be sure before you enable your camera. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, so yeah, a few more pictures and then we take snapshot. I see TK IDL accounts. I see you around. Hey, I'm seeing people. Wow. Who else? Mr. Anderson, I see Dr. Musapa. Okay, I see quite a number of people around. Okay, so that's that. Okay, because of time, you can now disable your camera, because normally when you enable your cameras, it takes a lot of data. So once we are done with the picture, we would proceed. This workshop or this short course that we are all going through, it will last 3 weekends. This weekend, next weekend, and the other weekend. And like we told you in the inception or at the inception meeting, we do the in-person from Friday to Sunday evening, 5 to 7, after which we proceed and carry out the asynchronous activities. Any assignments that are given you, you do it, and then you submit your assignments, and then it will be evaluated, and you receive the certificate of participation. Of course, you have to be sure that all the necessary things that you are doing, you do it well. Then we must thank 50% discount, because it was back and forth. We're thinking that the least cost CCBI gives to most of the courses is 500, 700, 800, some are even 1,000. And this one, 3 weekends, and all, he still bargained. We put the price at 300, but he said no, his people cannot pay. And he back and forth. In fact, with their father, Prophet Jari, and finally, we had to settle on 150 to enable all of you to. We are grateful to your leadership and that of your father, Prof. Jari. With this said, we want to quickly go through the program outline. The program outline is just, we would have leadership concepts and leadership communication for this weekend. Today and tomorrow will be addressed by our speaker, whom I will introduce very soon. And then tomorrow will be addressed by Dr. Mary Shen, head of school at Ghana International School. And then next week, we'll have EcoBank EDC manager, a member of the EcoBank group, Paul Mantin, discussing the core skills of a great leader. And then Ofosu will take ethics in leadership. And the last weekend, we will be having team building and servant leadership. In fact, that one will be taken by Mrs. Ruth Brown from the Commonwealth. She is the staff and educational development consultant for Commonwealth of Universities. She is their consultant. She has worked at South Bank University. So we are in for a lot, and I'm sure that when you go through these things, you become a better leader. Now, the person to take the first presentation, it's somebody I entered the university with. We came to school together. I knew him very, very well because there's a movie I like, and that movie, his name is in that movie. I like a movie called Gladiator, and his nickname it's in that movie. So I've watched that movie for like 20 times. And so we knew him very, very well. He did mechanical engineering and then proceeded to do economics. And then afterwards, did project management. In fact, Maximus Edusafo is our speaker for today. He's a program supervisor at Sturgeon County, Alberta, Canada. He was the former SRC president for KNUST for the 205-206. In fact, I remember his campaign, Maximus, that's how we used to call him then. And then we remember that he was the SRC president, under whose tenure KBN was instituted. he brought the cake to a Biensha fan, which still today I've seen it running. He holds a master's degree in accounts, and I've told you he graduated top of his class with the only distinction. So he's somebody who knows what he's about. Mr. Edusafo has served in diverse leadership capacities and offers a wealth of experience and insights. And he is going to talk to us or lead the concepts in leadership. Mr. Maxwell Edusafo, your audience.
Well, Chris, thank you so much for that intro. My head is going to fall off. To begin with, just a few protocol items. Madam Vice Chancellor, Pro Vice Chancellor, I see the Dean of Students is around as well, the Registrar, other academic members present, our SRC President. After your monkey speech, I think as a mic drop on my end, you're a tough act to follow, so going to be difficult to meet the level that you set. Fellow other SRC Council members present and participants. So I think today we've heard a lot about leadership, and I'm going to try my best to share what I've learned over the years and see how best we can spend this time together. And I believe it's going to be interactive, and at any point in time, if we need to talk and figure things out, we will. I bring you cold greetings. Here in Alberta, Canada, we're currently experiencing a cold weather warning, so it's -28 feels like -40, so not fun to be out. So again, I'm really happy to be in your warm company today. I was privileged to be SRC president about 17 years ago, and that's dating myself right now. And although times bring different perspectives, I strongly believe that a core